Hey, fourth grade. Today we're going to do problem set 1. So this happens to be modular 2, and we're talking about the metric system. And remember, if you peek down here at the bottom, it always gives you a little sneak peek of what the goal is. So it says express metric length measurements in terms of smaller unit, model and solve addition and subtraction word problems involving metric system. All right, so if you noticed, I already have a couple of charts that I put on my paper, and I would like for you to take a moment to get these charts down too. So now would be a good time to pause the video and go ahead, pause the video, and I want you to write down this chart and this chart because we'll be using them to think about our math today. So go ahead and boop, hit that pause button. All right, are you back? Do you have both of these charts? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a peek at this chart. So if you remember what we talked about in class, a kilometer is significantly bigger than a meter. So 1 kilometer is the same as 1,000 meters. So 2 kilometers would be 2,000 meters. And then hopefully you see a pattern starting to form. So 3 kilometers would be 3,000 meters. All right, so let's jump down here to 10. That would be, I'm gonna have to write pretty small, 10,000 meters. 70 kilometers would be 70,000 meters. All right, so I'm gonna leave these blank, but I do want you to go ahead and fill them in. What would 5 kilometers be? And what would be the equivalent of 7 kilometers in meters? All right, so if you look at, oh, don't forget to put your name on this paper. All right, so if you look at this chunk, the directions say convert the measurements. Remember to always read the directions. Always, always, always read the directions. And ask if you're not sure what the vocabulary means. All right, so 1 kilometer is how many meters? Well, this chart's going to help us remember that. So 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So kind of already answered the question over here, right here. All right, so then what would 4,000 kilometers be? What would 7,000 kilometers be if I convert them to meters? All right, so down here, well, you actually have to think backwards. So if I have 18,000 meters, well, that would just be 18 kilometers. All right, let's look at this chunk of the paper today. So you're going from meters to centimeters. Well, remember you have this chart. All right, so 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So if you remember, we talked about a meter being about the length of the door handle to the floor and 1 centimeter being about a staple. So centimeters are pretty small. All right, so I'm going to move my centimeter staple over here, and I'm going to look at this chart. All right, so if 1 meter is 100 centimeters, well, 2 meters would be 200 centimeters. 3 meters would be 300 centimeters. Let's look all the way down here.